Hi everyone, Dan here from the Apiary. Today we're going to do an inspection on our yellow hive here and see how everything's doing. The raspberries are about to come out here, so we're hoping we're going to see a good harvest here soon. So follow along, let's see how they're doing. Alright, while that's doing its thing, we're gonna open up the hive and start to inspect the super first. See if they made any progress since last we were here. Or at least a lot more activity up here in the top box than it was previously. Alright, let's see what we can find up in here. Close up the smoker because it's going very nice. I try to use as little smoke as possible. My bees are very calm, so I'm not really worried. We're gonna see here how it looks. I can see already they've started to draw out comb on pretty much all of the frames here. Yeah, it's starting to look really good. It's not the heaviest of frames, but they are starting to get the honey in. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take a picture of the frame for my logs. This is more like it. This is a full frame of honey. About, yeah, one side's full, the other side's about 70%. Yeah, they've started filling these up with honey as well. These were just frames with the wax foundation on it, so they drawn out. I inspected this hive on Saturday, so it's not been a full week, and a lot of the frames in these boxes, they hadn't touched the foundation. They had basically, I think it was one frame or something, but now that the nectar flow is starting to get pretty high again, they have a lot of work to do. And we're seeing honey on all of the 4 frames that I've inspected so far, and they're drawing out the comb quite nicely. If they keep looking like this, I'm gonna have to add another super onto this box, because these frames are starting to look pretty nice. Oh yeah. This is a heavy frame. This is probably the fullest one there is in the hive. And these were barely touched on the inspection on Saturday, which is pretty crazy. I need to paint another super. Yeah, here as well. It's just full. Because these guys will definitely need more space. Yeah, so pretty much full. There's a lot of bees here. A lot of bees have hatched in the last few days. I'm gonna have a little look in the brood boxes. Won't. Oh, the fire died. The smoker died. I was surprised to see that they had done this much in just a few days, because when I was here inspecting the hive last time, they had barely touched the frames. I actually moved up a couple more frames as well. That were filled with honey down here. Now as well, when we can see on the top here that we have quite a few drones. You can see a couple of them there. There's a little drone there, drone there, drone there. And these have quite recently hatched because the frames I took from the bottom box were the ones with the most drone brood on. And we can see here as well, they can't escape from anywhere but this tiny slit in the front. Now what I do is I always check the queen excluder to see that the queen's not on there. And we just shake those bees off of there. And then we set that aside. So you can hear them buzzing a bit, but they're not really aggressive. It's just the fact that I came and I shook them off their small little hiding space. So this was one of the new ones I put in. They've started to draw out. They've drawn out the comb very nicely on one side and started filling it with honey. And they've also started the work on the other side. No eggs on that one. Now what we're checking for here as well is there any, are there any queen cells? Are there any swarm cells? On this one I can see both eggs, I can see cap brood, I can see larvae. So I know there is a queen here, and the frames are looking very good. The brood is in the center, with the honey on the outside and a little bit of pollen. We're going to check our drone frame. Last time we cut one of the sections out here, and we can see that one of them has actually fallen off, and then we can see the one to the left here that we cut out. Hey, yeah, we can actually see the queen there as well. She's on that frame. So what we're going to do today is we are going to take out both the middle one and the left one, because they are 100% capped, all of them. What I want to be a bit careful here with as well is, I know that the queen is on this frame. She's on this part. So what we're going to do is we're going to take out everything else here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to use my hive tool, which has a nice sharp edge, and we're just going to kind of scrape away the comb. Now another thing that is pretty handy to have here when doing this would be some sort of a Stanley knife or a razor blade knife, something that's sharp. To be able to easily cut this all away. Since my hive tool is pretty new, there's not really an issue with using it. It's pretty sharp. But just try to avoid damaging the bees as much as possible. So there we have it. We cut out 2 of the drone frames. So all we have left now is the one. I bumped the frame a little bit, but the queen should still be here. Yeah, I see her actually. What we're gonna do, we're just gonna place all of this on the side for now. Just shake off as much of the bees as we can. And then we're going to gently place this back in here so we don't disturb the queen too much. And try to squish as few bees as possible as well. It has a bit of drone brood on it, so this is a candidate I'm gonna be putting up into the next super. I'm probably gonna be moving 2 frames or so up. But yeah, this is a really strong queen here. There are no swarm cells. There's a lot of healthy things in there. Yep, larvae and all these. A lot of pollen here as well. Few drone cells, but not that much. Yeah. There's just bees everywhere. And so much capped brood. Yeah, we're gonna have to place another super on this one pretty fast to prevent it from swarming. Yeah, here we have a lot of pollen. I'm gonna try to keep pollen frames down and instead move some of the honey frames up The pollen is really what they need in the brood box. Yeah, they're starting to get a little bit. I think they've had enough of me for one day. We're just gonna look through here as well. Yeah, we've got a lot of pollen on that frame as well. And then we have the first frame here, which was a new frame. They've drawn it out completely and filled it with nothing but honey. It's just a ton of honey here as well. And you can see today I'm not wearing any gloves. I've had the feeling the last times I've inspected the hive that the gloves have hindered me a bit. I think they're too thick. And being that my bees are so calm, I'm not really worried about them stinging me. I've had a lot of bees on me now that haven't really been aggressive. Yeah, some of them are starting to get they want me to leave. I'm just gonna fire up the smoker here real quick, and then we're gonna get the bees off the sides here, and then I'm probably gonna add a super to this tomorrow. And you can see here as well, when I did pretty much the entire inspection of the bottom box here, I didn't use any smoke. I'm only using smoke now to be able to get them away from the edges here, just so that I can minimize the casualties. And then we can see here, there's a stubborn little drone here. Yeah. That's the queen excluder on. Oh yeah, this is heavy. And that, my friends, is the inspection of hive number 1 today.